course, a glimpse of Chinese culture.
Welcome. China, a nation of long history with profound culture, inherited and developed a great variety of traditional art forms which suit both refined and popular tastes. From the melodious and pleasant folk music to the elaborate and touching local dramas, from the simple but elegant ink-wash paintings to the flexible and powerful calligraphy, one can always discern the light of sparkling wisdom. Traditional Chinese arts have tremendously impressed the world.
In this chapter, we will introduce you to
Chinese characters,
Chinese calligraphy,
Chinese painting,
Beijing opera,
local operas,
folk performing arts.
and folk music.
Okay, Kyle, can you distinguish different Chinese characters?
Maybe I can distinguish some, but most are very confusing.
Okay, now first we will talk about Chinese characters. The Chinese characters constitute one of mankind's oldest systems of writing and have the most users in the world.
There are numerous Chinese characters, totaling about 60,000, with about 6,000 basic ones.
Okay, now let's discuss about the development of the Chinese characters. The earliest Chinese characters were inscriptions on tortoise shells and animal bones of the Song Dynasty. They are called inscriptions on oracle bones. We call that Jiagu Wen. It dates back 3,400 years, which were already mature characters.
Chinese characters have undergone tremendous changes over the ages, from the earliest form of hieroglyph to the more advanced symbol character composed of strokes. It has experienced a process of inscriptions on oracle bones, inscriptions on bronze objects,
经文
on small seal characters,
小篆
and official scripts,
隶书
and regular scripts.
楷书 There are mainly 4 ways of creating a word as follows. The first is hieroglyph. It refers to the method of drawing the profile of the involved subjects, such as 月, which looks like a curved moon.
Self-explanatory characters are made up by adding self-explanatory symbols on pictographs, or from totally made-up symbols, such as ren, which means blade, and is made by adding a point on a cutting edge of a knife, pointing out the position of the blade.
Associative compounds, 会意, are combinations of 2 or more symbols to represent a new character with a new meaning. For instance, the character 明, bright, is composed by 日, sun, and 月, moon. Definitely, it will be bright when the sun and the moon appear at the same time.
The pictophon method is a word formation method combining one element of a character, indicating meaning, and the other, pronunciation, into a new word. Form element indicates the word's meaning and characteristics. Phonetic elements indicate the pronunciation of the word. For example, ho is composed of 3 dots indicating water, and ho indicating the pronunciation.
There are 6 basic categories in strokes of Chinese characters. They are 点, dot stroke, 横, horizontal stroke, 竖, vertical stroke, 撇, curved stroke, 折, angular stroke, and 钩, hooked stroke.
For thousands of years, Chinese people have been writing in complex Chinese characters. However, they are difficult to identify, memorize, and write due to their complicated strokes. From 1949, for the sake of the popularization of education, the Chinese government simplified the Chinese characters on a large scale. Today, simplified Chinese is an official language that's used by the United Nations. Historically, Chinese characters were borrowed by Korea, Japan, and Vietnam many years ago.
Okay, Kyle, now I will show you the most complicated Chinese character. You guess how many strokes in this character?
Maybe 100?
It's made up of 58 strokes. The Chinese character for biang.
Biang.
Yeah, it's one of the most complex Chinese characters in the contemporary usage. It's a kind of noodle, touted as one of the 10 strange wonders of Shanxi. It's described as being like a belt because of their thickness and the length. So we call that biang biang mian. Next, we will talk about Chinese calligraphy. Calligraphy is the traditional art of writing Chinese characters. After the centuries of creation and evolution, calligraphy has become a unique form of art.